Hi, this is Lindsay, and welcome back to my channel. So I finished my Raggedy Ann and Andy journal, and I wanted to share it with you. It's in my Etsy shop. If you're interested, you can follow the link below. This is a 6x8 journal. I had a book full of Raggedy Ann and Andy stories and pictures, and so I used some of those throughout. I found it at a thrift store several years ago, and I finally got up the guts to tear it apart and use it. And a little copyright notice or interesting bit of information with Raggedy Ann and Andy. Most of them are under copyright, so that's why I was using the actual pages in the book. But Project Gutenberg online, they do actually have, if you search Raggedy Ann and Andy, they have like the first book written about Raggedy Ann, and that was pre-copyright. It's not copyrighted, so there's a few cute little images you can pull off there for free, and so I didn't use any of them in this book, but I thought that was something you could look up if you wanted to. So 6x8 covered with this really cute scrapbook paper and the front collage. This fabric in the background is a vintage apron that Cheryl sent to me, and I have it here in the background, and so I thought that was a perfect, it kind of had a patchwork type look to it, and there's doilies and trims and buttons and just a whole bunch of collaging. I added a little mini tassel on the spine. There's like this rose trim and then this little tassel with laces and ribbons and a button, and it's removable. It's just clipped on to the eyelet with a garment pin. So there's 80 pages. Let's get right into it. So I used the book plate from the book this book belongs to. And there's lots of scrapbook papers and homemade embellishing. And here's a little journal card I made with some ribbon and lace. I like this little index card I did stitching on. And a little burlap tag and a button. I used some images from the book throughout. And there's some Monopoly money. This little tuck spot, I put their picture in there. And this little tag here. Paper ribbon, there's copy dyed paper in here, scrapbook paper, there's a button on that trim there, made little pockets, tags, and journaling cards as well. There's quite a bit of embellishing in here. So this is a double tuck spot. I have the subtraction flashcard in the back, and then this music tag in the little front. This is a vintage game card from the game Flinch. So I added that as a little tuck spot. And then there's also some pages from the book, so that's fun. There's a little chipboard button. This doily could be a tuck spot, front and back. Also used some parts from the book, some of the words from the book, and this is talking about a lost pebble. And so I have a little rock bead here, sticker, ticket. Here's a bingo card I got in some Happy Mail. And this is gray, teal, green, and dark teal woods. They're paint chip colors, and so I just added those as ephemera in there. Some stamping. Here's a little burlap tab I made with two little hearts for Raggedy Ann and Andy on there. There's a big tag I made, and there's a little brown rose there on the top. More book pages. Here's a little picture from the book that I put a frame on, and I made this little mini book inside, and it just has different parts from the book and story, so you could either journal in here or clip things over it, or even gesso the pages if you wanted to write right in it. But it would be really cute to glue photos and things like that over. This is from Junk That Treasures, this little envelope here, and then I put one of the pictures into the viewing window and stitched it. So, and I added an eyelet to make it like a tag, so you could actually tuck something small into it because the stitching ends here as well. There's a coffee dyed, whatever that's called, paper ribbon. Here's a little tag I made, and there's a teddy bear button on it and some layering. This is from a book on dolls, and this is about the doll Raggedy Ann, so I added that. Little pocket with a nail polish marbled playing card. I did a video on how I made these. And then a little mini addition flashcard. Here's a little thread piece of ephemera I had gotten in some Happy Mail, and then I just wrapped some thread around it and glued in a little T-pin with some beads. And then I made this tag, and it has the alphabet on it, some gold trim, great for journaling, 1950s dictionary page, and I love the red, how the words are all in red. Love this page with this trim just reminds me so much of Raggedy Ann. And Raggedy Ann reminds me of my grandma as well, because she loved to sew, and she Definitely sewed a lot of Raggedy Ann type dolls. This is a 1950s music book, slumber and lullaby songs. Some words from the book. Some journaling cards. I think this is Digital Collage Club, and then here's a paint chip card sewn on here. Country White, Antique White, Light Navajo. This is a vintage sewing book about sewing for children, I believe. And I thought that would be great for doll dresses as well, so I added that in there. Another page from the book, or picture from the book. Added a lot of buttons and lace and things that would be used, stenciling and ribbon and doll clothes, doll making. So this is has a lot of space in this paper bag for sticking things. Here's a little cute little paper clip, journaling card, and then picture from the book tacked in there. There's a page from the book and some more trim. This is like the children's writing paper, and I made a paper ribbon out of that. Lots of journaling space here. Some tags and journaling cards. There's a little teeny butterfly there at the bottom. Stamped a bicycle there. This trim, everything that made me think of like rag dolls and sewing and vintage. Some tags. I love this lace. I made a little tag there. There's a happiness card stamp. Another double tuck spot. So there's a journaling card that I made here, and then just this little teeny flip for writing something small in or sticking a little picture in. There's a coffee dyed flip here, and then this little burlap banner I made out of some burlap stickers, and then there's little buttons and things like that on there, and we come to the end. So this was just a lot of fun, putting in a lot of elements, a lot of creativity, stretched me, and I really enjoyed it. So I hope that you all liked it as well. And like I said, you can just click the link below to go to my shop and purchase it if you would like. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend.